Hi everyone, you're watching White Mountains TV. If you've ever wondered how the trails that are so loved here in the White Mountains stay maintained, well, they don't do it on their own. There's a bunch of organizations that work together to keep them in great condition for all of us recreationists. And here to talk a little bit more about that is Melanie Luce from the White Mountain Trail Collective. Thanks for joining us, Melanie.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Now, tell us a little bit about the White Mountain Trail Collective. What is this organization all about?
Sure. So the White Mountain is a nonprofit organization that works with trail maintainers. And we work with organizations that maintain trails throughout the White Mountains and then a little bit outside the region. So it's not strictly the White Mountains. We do crouch a little bit outside, but not too far, mostly within the White Mountain region. And we work with partners like the Forest Service is a big partner, AMC, and then we also work with small clubs and crews like Randolph Mountain Club, Wanalancet Outdoor Club, Chicora Mountain Club, to help them maintain the trails that they all take care of.
All right. Now, many people may be surprised to know that trails need maintenance. I mean, isn't walking on them enough to keep them in shape? Why do trails need maintenance? What are some of the causes, the reasons that you're out there doing your work?
Well, people walking on them is one reason why trails need maintenance, people using them. So it's probably over the last 15, 20 years, we've seen this amazing increase in trail use. And things that have caused that increase is just people wanting to get outdoors, people being more mindful of their health and fitness, challenges like hike all 48 4,000 footers increases the use. And then weather events are definitely something that hurts the trails, and also just seasonal changes. Winter, there's always winter cleanup to do in the spring. There's always spring cleanup to do in the summer. So every season kind of creates its own challenges as well.
And the White Mountains is poised for a tourism boom. Obviously, with the pandemic, people are going to want to get outside more, keep socially distanced. And hiking is a great option for that. But even without the pandemic, we were poised for a real big influx in hikers and other tourists to the White Mountains. Why does that make it even more important to maintain these trails?
Yeah, so the more use they get, the more erosion that happens. And it's not just, your typical erosion where you would think, water coming down a mountain and that water erodes, but foot traffic does soil erosion as well. So the more erosion that happens, the more rock that gets displaced, the more water bars that see, again, that water usage draining off the trails, the more use that happens, the more weather events that we have, the more we are working to kind of catch up on this backlog of maintenance that needs to happen. So right now, the White Mountain National Forest has 1,200 miles of trails, and then obviously we take care of a little bit more than that working with our partners. But if we stuck to that 1,200 miles of trails, what we're seeing right now is a $35 million deficit in backlog maintenance. So there's $35 million in maintenance that's just sitting there waiting for us to get to, not even the maintenance that just needs to be continually done and ongoing.
Right.
So that's what we're working to kind of chip away at that dollar number, at that backlog.
So when you come across a well-maintained trail, you can thank an organization like the White Mountain Trail Collective for all their work to get it that way, because it doesn't happen by itself. Let's talk about some of the projects you're working on right now with some partners. We'll start with Glen Ellis Falls and Pinkham Notch. What's going on there?
Yeah, so Glen Ellis Falls, we're working with the Androscoggin District with the Forest Service, and we are rebuilding and repairing this old historic area. And the work that we're doing is pretty specific historic rock work that stems back from the CCC era of trail work, so the Civilian Conservation Corps, so Roosevelt's time. So that's when Glen Ellis Falls was built, and we're trying to maintain the integrity of the historic appeal of Glen Ellis Falls. We're also going to be working and putting in a handicap accessible trail for all users so that they can access the falls and the lookout as well. So the trail hasn't had any maintenance or upkeep done in over 50 years. Wow. And we are going to be working with HistoriCorps, who specializes in this type of rock work, and Northwoods Stewardship Center is going to be helping us with the project. And that will be about 10 weeks. Project starts on July 15th. And I will need to mention that the project area, Glen Ellis Falls Trail, while we're working on it for that 10 weeks, will be closed to public, unfortunately. But it'll be amazing once we're done. So everyone just needs to be patient.
Good to know. Worth the wait. That's a beautiful site with those fieldstone steps and pathway leading down to one of the White Mountains' iconic waterfalls. Let's go to Cathedral Ledge, the iconic view from North Conway and one of the popular rock climbing spots anywhere in the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working at Cathedral Edge. We're working at the Thin Air Face Crag. And basically that area, the belay area or the staging area, they call it, has significantly eroded. Even higher to access other parts of Cathedral Edge. So we are rebuilding that area. We're taking away all of the rotted out wood structure that's there. We're replacing it with rock structure. We actually just finished today. They are ending a 4-day highline rigging training at Cathedral Edge, where they're actually prepping a lot of the rock and moving it into place that we'll be using over the project. And that project again starts on July 15th. It'll run about 10 weeks, and Cathedral Ledge won't be closed, but the area we're working on will be closed because it'd be pretty dangerous to have people climbing above us and things falling down on the people that are working. So we do have some safety precautions, and our partners with that, obviously, New Hampshire State Parks, because that's where Cathedral Edge is, and that's who helps maintain it. And then we are partnering with the Access Fund, and their conservation team is going to be helping us do that work, as well as both AMC professional crews will be on that project as well.
All right. So if you're planning on rock climbing this summer, make sure you plan in advance on because Thin Air is going to be closed for a little bit, the base area at the base of Thin Air.
Right. Yeah. Go between now and July 15th. Then you'll be fine.
And two more to talk about. Let's talk about the Cranmore Connector. This area, which is off of kind of between Cranmore and Hurricane Mountain Road around the Black Cap hiking trail, is becoming really popular. It's always been popular with hikers, and now it's becoming really popular with mountain bikers too. So tell us what's going on there.
So we are working with White Mountain NIMBA, or people local there might know them better as Ride NoCo. We are working with them to put in a mountain bike trail that takes the downhill mountain bike traffic off of the hiking trail known as Cranmore Connector. So we're trying to alleviate a user conflict and make it a little bit more safer for everyone to enjoy. Mountain bikes will still be able to go up Cranmore Connector, which is fine. If you've seen anyone mountain biking up, they're usually pretty slow, or they're pushing their bike, walking it up there. And then when they access the top, they'll have a different trail to ride down.
All right. So that will make it a little bit safer for those hiking. I know mountain bikers obviously enjoy the thrill of speed when they're going downhill, so they won't have to hit the brakes as much coming down.
Right.
And then, and then we also have just Hurricane Mountain Road. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
Also a mountain bike project. We call it Hurricane Mountain Road, or the Water Tower Project, so people might know it, where the Water Tower area is. We're helping expand that trail system, and we're helping to build 2 bi-directional trails to alleviate the congestion in that area, and also to alleviate a parking conflict that's happening in that area with the town and the condo association that's right there. So we are helping White Mountain NIMBA kind of repair and help that relationship a little bit and get those mountain bikers to park at Cranmore Mountain, and then they will have access to those trails, and actually will be better for all the users involved.
All right. Well, being popular, whether it's for hiking or mountain biking, doesn't come without its hardships. And we have the White Mountain Trail Collective and your partners to help us work through these and make sure everybody is enjoying these, and they're around for a while for other people to enjoy as well. You guys are a nonprofit. What are you looking for in terms of either fundraising help or volunteers?
Yeah, so volunteers are tough this year. It's really hard with a pandemic. We can't run volunteer days like we normally would. And I will say most of our trails, just so that people know, 90% of the trail work that you're seeing out there done in trail maintainers, if you're walking by them or mountain biking them, those are volunteers that season after season just go out and help organizations like ours, the Forest Service or AMC, work and maintain the trails. So unfortunately this year we're not going to have a lot of volunteer days, so we're kind of working with more professional crews. We're working a little bit scaled down than we normally would because we're following CDC guidelines. We're working with social distancing and people wearing masks and taking those precautions. So that's definitely changing our season drastically as well. But we're making it happen. We count on folks not only to volunteer, but donate. So if you want to help a trail this year and you can't volunteer, giving $5 is a huge help, right? Anything you can give helps. We rely on some grant funding and also just generous donations. We are running at our budget this year. We're putting $500,000 into the Valley in trail work this year, and we're looking to repeat that next year.
And I know you were running a drawing for, I believe, like a new Ford
yes.
truck. Is that still going on?
That's still going on because of the pandemic. We had to extend that deadline. So yeah, you can hit our website, WM. You can enter to win a Ford F-150 truck, or you can take $25,000 cash, depends on what you want more. We're only selling 500 tickets, and the drawing will be October 3rd. And again, through our website, you can also just donate through our website, find more information about our projects, our partners, and learn more about us.
Win a new Ford F-150 truck or $25,000. We were breaking up a little bit as you gave the URL. So what's your web address again?
Yeah, wmtrailcollective.org.
All right, Melanie Luce from the White Mountain Trail Collective, thank you so much for joining us. And we will definitely get back in touch with you as the summer goes on to hear more about these projects that you're working on.
Yeah, let us know if you want to get your Cranmore crew out there live and film trail crews working. We'll be there.
That might be a good idea, some before and after footage.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. You're watching White Mountain.
Thank you.